The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Happy, what is it? Thursday. Happy Trudging Thursday. I was over here thinking I needed an S today, sober. No, and put water on my hair. There we go. To that point where it can be a little out of. All right. So you like my new background? Like my new background? Nothing. A taped window. Yeah, I'm gonna paint today. So, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna start painting. Morning, Angel. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Amber. Thank you all for being here. Um, I'll just let people, and there's no reason. I have no reason. I'm feeling sad today. I don't know why. I'm blue. I'm blue. I got a blue thing in my hair. Yeah, I'm growing out the hair right now. It's winter time. It's too cold to be bald. So I'm not depressed. Depression usually consumes a whole day. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. I'll move on with my day eventually. I've already started talking to a couple people about to make sure that I'm not sitting in my own head. That's the important part here. Um, I can just feel the pain. It's not mine. It's not mine. And I don't like just cutting things off. I don't like doing that. Um, because if I do that, then I may not see that somebody needs help and I won't be there. Um, I'm not sure what God wants from me right now. It's part of it. I asked him this morning, guidance, right? But I can't ask for guidance and then not talk to anybody. It's not how things work. Good morning, Leisure. Good to see you. Sorry, Restream fucked up on you, dude. I've been having problems with Restream myself. Not sure what's going on. So that sucks, dude. Because you put stuff together, especially when you do it weekly. I do this every day, so twice a day, right? So I mean, you catch one, catch the other. One might be messed up, but when you do this once a week, you put a lot of effort into it, and you really count on Restream and the IO doing the right thing, and it can be pretty frustrating because things have to happen in order. They have to happen in time. It's all about timing when it comes to going live and doing this. So that sucks, Leisure. I'm sorry that happened to you. Make sure you make a complaint to Restream. I'll just make the complaint. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to blame it on you, just so you know. they're gonna they're gonna blame it on you. Restream does not take accountability ever, because then they have to give you free stuff, and gosh, they are stingy. They gave me a week of professional. I'm like, that does me. Yeah, oh, I can go on 8 channels now. I don't have 8 channels. I get more storage space for a week. Ooh, none of that helps me at all. So anyway, look at that, 5 people. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for bringing my friends today. I needed it. You know what time it is. It's time for Dion's Daily Funnies. I'm not feeling very funny, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. Ooh, Bustle, handpicked dad jokes. Haven't seen that one yet. Let's go there. Leisure said, all good, thanks. I rose above it. I knew you would understand. Yeah, you went to somebody that understood because you've been there. We just want to do the best that we can, right? All right, these jokes are like all over. There is like commercials. So, Dad, can you please son, Dad, can you please explain to me what a solar eclipse is? Dad, no, son. All right. What did the man fall? Why did the man fall down the well? He couldn't see that well. What? No, we've done these. All right, let's go down a little bit. Okay. Did you hear the joke about paper? Never mind, it's terrible. And so is the joke. What's orange? It sounds like a parrot. A carrot. All right. What did the blanket say when it fell off the bed? Oh, sheet. Oh, sheet. Oh, no. Oh, sheet. Me blanket is fallen. All right. That's my impression of Slowpoke, who is Speedy Gonzalez's brother, cousin, something like that. Do you ever notice he always carried a gun? A very large gun? Some of you will know what I'm talking about. Looney Tunes. Yeah, Slowpoke was, he was slow, but he carried a big gun. He was, yeah, all right. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. Most of the cartoons I watch would not be on today. They were too violent and not sexual enough. All right. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. So we got a lot of books here. We got several books here that we're reading from. And I have not figured out which order I want to go in. We're only utilizing it as Bill sees it. There's one thing in here from the grapevine that I won't be able to pull from a reading. It says the deception of others is nearly always rooted in the deception of ourselves. Right? What an eloquent way to say you spot it, you got it, right? So I'm gonna do my best. I feel like I've been repeating myself a lot lately, so I'm trying to get out of some other things. But this is a good one today. We need to talk about honesty, right? And nothing is honest until you say it out loud. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go to the 12 by 12 on step 10 for a minute, but mostly we're going to be on page 60. Actually, let's just go to page 60. Let's do that. Because what had happened is I was going through I'll tell you how it came, right? So what I did is I was opening this up and I saw the word deception, page 117, and that's what I went and looked up, and that's because I'm like, you know, why is that catching it? Why am I catching myself on that? Right? Or why did it stick out? These are the little epiphanies God sends us. These little shots of stuff that He wants us to hear. We have some people in chat here. Oh, Claire Joyce says, I tend to feel second best, lesser than others, and the other treat you that way, or they do. Michelle says, lies I tell myself. Yes. All right. So we're going to go to page 60 in the 12 by 12 here, which is going to be step 5, most likely. Yeah. Step 5. Right. Now, I'm not going to really cover step 5 as much as I am going to be talking about that the only way that we can really get to the truth is by running my mouth. At the same time, 80% of the program is keeping my darn mouth shut, right? So we're going to do this with people that know us and understand, right? Like this morning, I was feeling that way. I reached out to a couple of friends that I knew would understand, and absolutely they did, right? Right. In fact, they're here. So I reached out to Angel and Amber. CJ says, then they say you shine so bright, you're amazing. Which one is true? Yeah, huh? It gets confusing. It does. Um, be careful of the pay. Be careful of the people that do nothing but compliment you. Right? Because that's called killing with kindness. If a person does nothing but compliments you like all the time, like overly, you'll know it. It'll be too much. They'll even give you compliments that just don't exist. They're trying to kill you with kindness because, well, they don't like you. You do with that with what you want. When I have those people, I just go ahead and accept it. They're working through something. I'm not going to, what I'm not going to do is try and make it worse. But that is also not my job to solve. And I wouldn't be able to solve it because they don't like me and they're not going to listen to me. All right. I like to be the center of attention. And sometimes I go into rooms and people don't like me because I've stolen their thunder. I've seen it happen. I don't mean to. I'm just kind of a boisterous guy. I am. It's funny because I read all this, I see all this empath stuff, and I'm empathic. I know that I am. All right, that's what's going on this morning. But they always are like, these are the, and Virgo stuff, and they're like, they are silent. I'm like, I'm not silent. I am not quiet. I got tired of keeping my mouth shut. I got tired of it. I couldn't. No, that was not a place that I was willing to live anymore. It was time for me to start recovering out loud. All right. By nature, I am an introvert. Virgos are usually introverted, unless you really piss them off, and then you'll find the very extroverted part of them. But I think that's true of a lot of people, not just Virgos. All right. So, but what I am not quiet. I'm not silent if something needs to be said, and it's hard for me to do. It is. It's not easy for me to do. I have to grab that courage from God. When I do this, I have to grab courage from God. I'm putting myself out here, especially when I'm feeling sensitive like today. Right? So, what do I do? Well, it's the same stuff people have been telling me. I trust my higher power. Am I questioning them right now? Yeah, I am. Should I be? Probably not. But I got to get my answers somehow. I'm not angry with God or with anybody. Um, sometimes it hurts to see, like, hey, look, I'm eating this, or oh, just some stupid meme, and it's got like 500 comments. I'm out here trying to help people, and I can't even get people to stick around for a couple minutes. It's hard to do. It is hard to speak the truth. Now, if I wanted to blow smoke up your ass and just be your regular, you know, oh, gotta have a positive attitude. Now get out there and be your best self and do, I I I can do that, but I need this. I need to give you the solution. I need to hand you something worthwhile, or I don't feel like I've done my job. And it's important to me that I do that. That's important to me. I'm very loyal to my causes. And my number one thing, I think everybody knows this, is to give everybody in my community a chance at recovery. Right? I mean, I've been spending the last 4 years cutting through red tape. And this is the stuff that we do. So thank you for everybody that's here. 7 people. Wow. We might break double digits today. Let's get to it. I'm sure you guys are done listening to Dion Kiowa, but I've worked through that problem there. I am feeling a little bit better just because my friends are here, because I know that other people care. That in and of itself is a relief, because when I'm in my head, I feel all alone. I feel all alone. And texting is great, but it doesn't make the words come out of my mouth like they need to be, right? Leisure says, be heard. A voice is more powerful than people understand. Thank you, Leisure. Angel says it's okay to question. He loves you no matter what, and he understands. Thank you. I need to hear that too. See, we can't remember everything, and we need to be reminded of who we are, what we're going through. Right? Okay. So we're just going to start on page 60, and we're going to swing the bat. We're going to see what happens. We're going to swing at the fastball here. The second difficulty is this: what comes to us alone may be garbled by our own rationalization and wishful thinking. Even this morning, I was kind of going through that. I was starting to rationalize things. I don't need to rationalize it. It is what it is. I'm a little sad today. And I'll tell you why I'm sad. Because I can feel a lot of people hurting and I can't do anything about it. Right? I'm a super codependent. If I had a magic wand, I would use it. Okay. Now I know that I'm codependent though, so I'm very careful on what I do. I am. I'm very aware of my codependency. So are my friends, right? Um, but the thing is I love you just as much as, well, maybe I want to love you like God loves you, which means sometimes I need to let other people suffer. But I can be there. I can be a helping hand. I can't be a handout. I need to be a hand up. Thank you, Amber. I love you. Thank you for even stopping by. I know you could get in trouble and stuff, so I appreciate it. And I think of it. So I love you, honey. The benefit of talking to another person is that we can get his direct comment or counsel on our situation, right? And that's what I'm doing right now. I went to my friends. I'm like, I'm going to bring this to my live. If it didn't work here, then I was going to start making phone calls, right? And what are people doing? They're helping me out. They're giving me direct advice, right? And there is no doubt in our minds what that advice is. Going it alone in spiritual matters is dangerous, right? So I don't care how long I've been talking to God or how spiritual I think I am. In all spiritual matters, we do not do it alone, right? We don't. And I'm usually by myself, but that doesn't mean I have to go through it alone. There's plenty of ways to communicate with my friends. Plenty of ways. How many times have we heard of well-intentioned people claim the guidance of God when when it was all too plain that they were sorely mistaken, lacking both practice and humility, they had deluded themselves and were able to justify the most errant nonsense on the ground that this was not what God had told them. Sometimes I get a quick thing, and I wonder if it's God. I don't think he's talking directly to me because it's my voice. God has a really cool voice. He's got a radio voice. All right. Thank you, Leisure. I love you too, brother. Hey. So what is the answer to what I'm going through? It's love. And I'm receiving it right now. See, right now I didn't have the dividend. Now I'm receiving it. Now I have the dividend of love. And the dividend is coming from me talking about what is going on. Okay? But if you listen to me, we're getting to the solution here. Otherwise, all I'm going to do is complain. And we don't want to sit there, right? So if love was the answer to this, then what is it? Well, it's a fear that I'm not going to be able to pull off what I think about to do. Now we're getting somewhere. And I have a lot going on. I have a lot going on. And sometimes I don't know which way to go. Right. And then even then it changes. Just so you know, now I'm going to announce it here. I'm going to put it in grassroots. Our Beyond Relapse Prevent or Relapse, right, is now free. Angel and I decided yesterday to make it free. When we're done, if you want to donate, great. Because really, we just want to help. And maybe that's part of what's affecting me too, because no one has signed up. And I feel bad because Angel's been out there doing, passing flyers out, and then I change it and things like that. And I apologize about that, Angel. But these are growing pains, and we know this. So we're just trying to figure out what's going to work best. Right? I like consistency and simple and stuff. And so I'm thinking about making a 6-week or a 6-month course. Every third Thursday of the month will be a new class. And we meet once a month. Anyway, these are just ideas that are going on, right? So lacking both we diluted themselves. It was worth noting that people of very high spiritual development almost always insist on checking with friends or spiritual advisors. I want to be I want to be one of those people with very high special development. I do. I want to be that person. And you may even see me as that person already. I don't know. I kind of feel like I am a lot. I mean, my pastor says so. Somebody called me religious a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I guess I must. Um, Angel says, totally fine. I've gotten some positive feedback about the chat. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, Angel. Because really, I just want to do the right thing. If that means that God gives me money for it, great. But it's going to start the way it needs to start. And when that thought came to me, I got a really good feeling in my stomach, so I went with it. It was an intuition. Okay, so what did I do though? I contacted Angel. That's why I asked Angel to do this with me. Okay, because I shouldn't do it alone. And she was the best person I could think of on that. Oh, surely then a novice ought not lay himself open to the chance of making foolish, perhaps tragic blunders in this fashion. While the comment or advice of others may be no means infallible, it is likely to be far more specific than any direct guidance we may receive while we are still so inexperienced in established contact with a power greater than ourselves. All right. Well, man, a lot of chat happened while my head was down. And thank you, Angel. Uh, Claire says, often the voice of the others in the herd saying you did quiet yourself to listen for an answer, put yourself in nature. Being on my knees is not for my higher power. Whew, that was a mouthful for me. All right. So it goes on to say our next problem will be to discover, but we're not really covering the fifth step here as much as we're talking about the fact that if you talk about what's going on, okay, and I say this a lot too, but a good therapist, what they will do is they will have enough patience and guide you. They will ask certain questions so that when you are talking, the answer to your problems will come out of your mouth. See, the truth can only come from one place, your mouth. Okay, it's your truth. And guess what? Your truth and my truth might be a little different, and that is okay. For years, I didn't have a voice, or maybe I did, but I buried it under fear and shame. I didn't feel like I had the right to say anything. I didn't feel like I was worth anybody else's time. I didn't. Now, today, I absolutely do feel that worth. I do feel like I am worth time. Right? Aurora Mental Health, the new executive director, she set up a meeting with me for November 11th. It's a half hour. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I got a little offended by that. So, but I'm not, why a half hour? A half hour? I'm worth more than a half hour. An hour. And that's just a good start. I don't even know this person yet. A half hour is only enough time for me to figure out whether this person is worth working with or not. And they probably are. I trust the hiring managers. They've done a really good job. So I do trust that. Okay. I mean, she had moved it from Illinois to not do a good job. Okay. And I went and looked at her background. I checked out who she was. Absolutely, I did. But did she do that with me? Did she have the time? See, I'm gonna have to explain what I do to her because she ain't gonna know. I know that, the person that told her to talk to me probably told her a little bit about me. But I don't know what they said. I'm sure there was a part in the conversation where she told her, well, yeah, Dion's a little spicy. I'm just gonna let you know, okay? He he doesn't really hold back. Okay. They're gonna try and let them know that I can be obnoxious a little bit without saying that because they don't want to be mean. He's very passionate about what he does. All right. So recovery gave me that voice back and it came with the truth. And it hurt. It hurt bad because I had to finally admit everything that I had been doing. Yeah. That fourth and fifth step, it's scary, man, in a lot of different ways. And see, that's the thing about it, though. I did it. Angel did it. CJ did it. Leisure did it. And Michelle and Amber and we all did it. Guess what? We're still here, but it hurt. It hurt a lot. Sometimes it still hurts. I have to admit, I still have some regret. Okay. My regret is about some of the relationships that I had and that I hurt them. Okay. Mostly my children. But instead of letting that regret turn into guilt, I use it as a motivation to become better. That is my motivation. I got sober for my wife and kids. So they are my main motivation. My friends are my main motivation. Why? Because without all of you, I'm nothing. Not to the point where I'm nothing. But alcoholics will understand what I'm saying. All right. So being quiet and not speaking my truth was part of my survival mechanism. Is partly how I survived. When I went into group homes at 14, I heard somebody talking to another person, and they were talking about me because like I said, I was shy, I was quiet to a certain point. This is where things would change. After a while, that would change, though, right? And I heard him say, be careful of that one. The quiet ones are always fucking crazy. And I had my answer. Everybody thought I was nuts. So when I did do something, oh, it was a big deal. Even when I was in Jefferson County, I was at Jefferson County Jail for child support. They gave me 6 months, and then I was in work release. Right. And one day I worked 6 days a week. Sunday, I took Tylenol PM, did laundry, watched the Bronco game, and slept. That's what I did on Sundays because you can't smoke. Right. I could smoke when I went to work and things like that. One day I'm sleeping and somebody came into our pod. They were talking kind of loud. They're like, you need to be quiet. Dion's sleeping. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh man, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to. And everybody in the pod gets up. They're like, Podfather's sleeping. Shut the fuck up. I didn't do anything. I didn't look for that. But my survival skill of that quietness made everybody think that I was a psychomaniac. It weren't far. I did some well, we all did. The problem is if you stay silent long enough, you start to believe your own lies. And I did. I believed them because I kept repeating them and repeating them to myself. Dion, you're a horrible person. Everybody says you're a horrible person. You do this. You can't hold a job. You can't do this. You're always shaking. Everybody knew I was an alcoholic by the end. Everybody knew. We had to go to court, federal court, down in Houston, Texas. And even there, when they put me on the stand, all they did was knock me about my alcoholism. Fuck the fact that I was a professional in my field and that I knew more about it than a lot of other people. That didn't matter. No, it was all about my alcoholism. No. And it's always been that way. But now that I've healed myself, yeah, it's about it's about me on that. Yeah. Yeah, Podfather. You know, I don't know why I end up in those roles, but I do. All right. So when you share your story, you don't just free yourself, you give someone else permission to be real. And this is a lot of what I do here. I was just talking to my therapist about this on Tuesday. I give people permission to heal here by being an example, by going through the things that I go through. Oh, look, I love Dion and I respect and trust what he has to say. And even he has sad days. So I'm allowed to have sad days too. It's how we do that. I will give you permission to heal. I'll give you permission to start your day over. Go for it, man. I do it. You can do it too. It's for you too. It's not just mine. These are the things that I want to share. And that is beyond recovery. That's beyond what we really need to do. But I like going an extra 2 or 3 steps more. Right? So honesty has a ripple effect. Truth travels through voice, not perfection. The truth can only travel one way. It's through the voice. And your voice is very, very powerful. Right? The podcast, which I really, really need to get back to. See, there's just another thing that I need to get done right now. But the whole point of that is for people. The reason I do the podcast, okay, because even people that have told their stories in other places, they always when I finish those, they're like, "This, I've never experienced my story this way." Because if you come on the podcast, I'm going to do everything I can to make you comfortable. And I'm a very comfortable person to talk to. And you're going to probably say things that you didn't realize that you were going to say, or you might remember things. But there's a few things that happen in every single podcast. And I don't consider the Daily Trudge the podcast. It requires a second person. All right. First of all, we're going to heal. We are going to heal. Beyond healing, we're going to talk about things that are going to help other people. Oh, you know what? That happened to me. That happened to me. Because you may not have brought it up in a whole room of 30 people, but sitting with me, you were able to say it. You can be as anonymous or recover out loud as much as you want. We'll change your name. What I won't do is your full name if you're talking AA, though. I won't do that. Right? So you don't need a platform, you just need courage. And when you speak from the heart, people feel it, and that's real fellowship. And it's one thing that I aim to do, and every single thing that I do is speak from my heart. I don't go to my head for this stuff. No. It is often that I will do these, talk for 45 minutes, and I'll remember half of what I said. I'll listen to some, like, I take this and I turn it into clips through Substack and I listen to them sometimes. I'm like, when did I say that? When did that happen? It's because I let God guide me. Even when I'm sad, even if I'm angry with Him, it doesn't matter. Right? CJ says our childhood story doesn't change. Correct. But you might remember more of it. Truth comes with your voice, but only if you're brave enough to use it. Right? So, and CJ, I wasn't arguing with you. I'm just saying that in the last 3 months, I've been getting flashes of my childhood that I forgot all about. That's why I said that. But it's and I think what she's going after is our stories are very much alike, so it doesn't change. What I went through, you kind of went through too. Like this, you didn't feel like you belonged in your family, like that, right? You were probably you were the person that they blamed everything on, and to this day you still are, unless that family has decided to heal themselves, right? There are certain people in my family, I will be the black sheep for the rest of their lives. Yes, I cannot change that. I also don't need to hang around it. And I don't. No. I only hang out with people who give me a reciprocal relationship. It doesn't matter if you're my friend, acquaintance, or professional. It will be reciprocal, or there will be no relationship. Because I've already lived my life full of emotional vampire suckers. Mm-mm, no, and I can spot them pretty far away now. Doot 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 doot. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I do feel better. I do still feel a little sad, but it's not hitting me like it was. So, what else does your voice do? It is the healer of pain, not just for you, but for everyone around you. All right. This has been a great one. Thank you, everybody. This has been the Podfather, because this is a podcast, right? So now Podfather Recovery. That's actually pretty fucking cool, right? The Trojan Podfather. And what's funny is 90% of the people in recovery would get that. Non-alcoholics probably would not. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep